It is now 7 o'clock, and I will call this meeting to order. Can I please get a roll call?
All counselors are present.
Can everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to our new City Council Forum. All public meetings at City Hall will now be held on the first floor. So everyone that's here tonight, welcome, and we're making history, right? Okay, so next.
There are no special orders of the day or announcements. There are no public hearings, so public comment.
We've reached the point on the agenda for residents to speak to the council about issues that are coming before us or may come before us in the future. Council members may not act on any requests at this meeting, but may refer a speaker to staff for assistance. We ask that you hold your comments to 3 minutes or less and refrain from personal attacks of any kind. Public comment is a privilege, and we expect everyone to conduct themselves in a civil manner. Speakers are asked to complete a public comment form and turn it in prior to our meeting. Each individual will be invited to the podium and asked to state your name and address for the record. Are there any members of the public wishing to address the council this evening? If there are no public comments, we'll go on to item 6, our consent agenda.
All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered at this point on the agenda.
The consent agenda consists of items 6A through 6E. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I so move. Second.
Okay, we had a motion by Councilor Blakely, a second by Councilor Jacobson. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 7A is consideration of Resolution 2020-004 for approval of applicants for an alcohol beverage operator's bartender license for the years 2019-2021. You have before you this evening applications for 7, recommendations for approval, 0 for denial.
Is there a motion to approve item 7A?
I so move.
Moved by Councilor Prushel, seconded by Councilor Forbeck. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Under item 8A for ordinances, we have consideration of ordinance number 3668 to amend the zoning district map of the city of Beloit for the property located at 656 Pleasant Street. This is second reading.
Our Community Development Director, Julie Christensen, do you have a report tonight?
Sure. Celestina Ruffini, on behalf of Beloit Convention and Visitors Bureau, has submitted this zoning map amendment to change the zoning district classification from PLI Public Lands and Institutions District to Central Business District 2, Central Business District Fringe for the property located at 656 Pleasant Street. They have submitted an offer to purchase the former Angel Museum site, which is located at 656 Pleasant. They're proposing to use the property as a headquarters for Visit Beloit and its partners, along with an event space. The applicant intends on constructing a 7,827 square foot addition to the south of the existing building in the future. A certified survey map has been approved by Plan Commission, which adds a portion of 627 and 714 Pleasant Street to 656 Pleasant Street. An outlet has been created along the west side of the property for the city to maintain the bike and walking path. Lot 1 of that CSM is subject of this rezoning. Landmarks Commission has already reviewed the proposed use and recommended approval to the development proposal on October 15, 2019. And this rezoning is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan. Plan Commission reviewed this application on December 4th and voted unanimously to recommend approval of the zoning map amendment before you tonight.
Thank you, Julie. This is a second reading. Are there any questions for staff at this time? So we'll move on. Is there a motion to approve?
I so move.
Moved by Councilor Prushel, seconded by Councilor Forbeck. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
There are no appointments this evening. And so we're on to councilor activity and upcoming events.
Thank you. Councilor Prushel.
Well, no report, but I would like to compliment staff on the wonderful job they did getting this all put back together and taking it apart in the first place and all of that. This is a wonderful facility. The lighting's much improved. The sound is better. Everything. This should be a better experience for visitors and counselors and staff and everybody alike. So thank you very much for doing that and for doing everything else you've been doing in this fun little winter we're having. This winter that doesn't really want to be a winter, but might tease you a little bit and be a winter. So it's kind of strange, and the responses have been great, and it's always good to see us doing good jobs on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Preschel. Counselor Jacobson.
No report.
Thank you, Counselor Jacobson. Counselor Blakely.
Is it not working?
My microphone
Oh, there it
sounds
goes.
like it's working.
It's working. It's
I
working.
don't get a red light. Somebody's got to take care of that. Otherwise, I'm truly enjoying this new space that we're in, and I'm so happy that so much has been accomplished in a rather short period of time. I wanted to mention a couple of things that are coming up in the community on Wednesday. Wednesday evening, there is a writers group at Beloit Library that's free and open to the public for anybody who wants to be a writer, learn about writing, or is a writer and wants to improve. That's in the evening. And first thing or second thing Wednesday morning at the Cancer Treatment Center, Beloit Healthcare's Cancer Treatment Center, there are Qigong lessons. Qigong is an older version of Tai Chi. Those classes are free to cancer patients, those who've been through treatment or are currently receiving treatment, and there's a small fee for anyone else from the public. You don't have to be a patient of any kind to take place. So that happens right out on Milwaukee Road, Wednesday morning at 8:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Blakely. Counselor Levy.
I would just like to say congratulations to staff and everyone involved in having us here as well. You will notice that the next few meetings that my old neighbor bought a bigger house and she moved way down there to that end of the table. So we did post a sign and we're looking for people to buy a vacant spot. So now the city clerk decided to buy that spot and she'll be sitting next to me from here on out. So she, as you know, Lori used to sit down in a little well and you used to hear this voice and people on TV was probably wondering, where's that voice coming from? So now she's moving here, so I want to welcome my new neighbor to our little neighborhood over here and just looking for great things. And Lori was really nice, living next to you for a while. And
Kept the same
hopefully
name, so it wouldn't be hard for you.
So, but I just want to let everyone know that the person you see now is Lori Stoutler. And you probably didn't see her a lot on camera, but now she's going to be here every week or every other week.
Yeah.
Really nice. That's a real Kevin move.
Thank you, Counselor Levy. Counselor Forbeck.
Well, again, I just have to repeat, this is wonderful. Thank you. Takes me back that I remember walking in when this was first opened, so it was a while ago. I do want to mention a sad thing, and I just want to recognize it as a city council member, that young man, Jeremiah Young, who was found, just want to say that the community is sorry and want to give our respects and our compassion to the family. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Forbeck. Vice President Anderson.
Thank you. Just want to echo everything that's been said already. Council, this room looks really nice, and thank you, staff, for doing such a great job. I just want to say, hope everybody had a good holiday. Hope everybody's still sticking with your resolutions. I'm sure half of us already quit on them, but if you're still going strong, hats off to you. The one thing I just want to mention, I'll mention it, it's still going to happen after the next council meeting, but the homeless street count, it's really important. Kevin is going to come and join me, and we're going to have some coffee, and we're going to go and walk the streets. It is January 29th, technically January 30th. It's at midnight till about 4 a.m., so it's definitely a late night. But they have two locations they usually go at, one up in Janesville at Echo, and then one here in Beloit at Community Action. So get some sleep, come on out, and it's, like I said, it's really important that we go do that and get a good count. So the more help we have, the better count we can get. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Anderson. First, I want to begin by acknowledging the concerns of the Lathers Woods neighbors about the borrow pit, and to inform you that our city manager and staff have been looking into this issue, and that our city manager will share more information in her report this evening. So to let the residents know, we are listening and we will do all that we can to help. Next, as far as council activities, I had the opportunity to attend Fries with the firefighters at Culver's, joining firefighter Flanagan in giving out books, which were generously donated from the State Line Community Foundation and Beloit Literacy for Life. I also had fun being a special guest reader to the children who were at Culver's that evening. In addition to that, I attended the Beloit Literacy for Life meeting and was happy to hear the outreach efforts that our City of Beloit and agency partners will be involved in to encourage our children and families to read and enhance their literacy skills. This really makes me excited about the new year, knowing how we will continue to make our city even stronger. With that said, special thanks to our Economic Development Director, Andrew Yankee, our Community Development Director, Julie Christensen, the Department of Public Works Director, Laura Williamson, and their teams, along with Sarah Miller, our Director of Strategic Communications, for their efforts with all the many projects, from the renovation of our beautiful City Hall to the seasonal job fair for our residents, and today with Amazon. As our city manager stated, this is certainly a game changer and creates 500 full-time jobs and increases the property value for the residents of the city of Beloit. So special thanks to our city manager, Lori Curtis Luther. Your leadership is impeccable. As you can see, we are making progress. So that takes me to another issue. It's important that we have people to serve on our city committees. If you want to be part of our winning team and put your talent and skills to use, please consider being on one of our following committees. And they are, we have our Alcohol Beverage License Control Committee. There's one vacancy for a Tavern League rep and one vacancy for a resident. We have our Board of Appeals. There's 3 vacancies for residents. We have our Board of Review. We have 1 vacancy for a resident, a regular term, and 2 vacancies for residents as alternates. We have our Community Development Authorities. There's 4 vacancies for residents. Our Landmarks Commissions, there's 3 vacancies for residents. Our Traffic Review Committees, there's 2 vacancies for residents. To obtain an application, you can visit our City of Beloit website and you just go under the How Do I tab and you apply for a committee. It's that easy. Or you can call our Executive Assistant, Pam Lathrop, at 608-364-6614. Lastly, I want to congratulate the Beloit police officers who were promoted today. And a lot of our counselors were here today and our city manager were here in attendance. And I want to thank the chief because you really did a good job in supporting and bringing in our new officers, our new promoted officers. And I just want to mention their names because they are certainly, we want to acknowledge them. They are now listed as Inspector Thomas Stigler, Captain Andre Sales, Lieutenant Christopher Eberhardt, and Sergeant Garrett Morris. We wish you all the best and thank you for your service to our community. Next, we'll go on to item 11.
City manager's presentation.
Thank you. As the council president indicated, I'm going to provide just a little bit of information that the city only recently learned about. So in mid-December 2019, Rock Road apparently purchased roughly 100 acres of property in the city of Beloit located at 2320 Lathers Road. Rock Road's plan is to remove 300,000 cubic yards of what is called borrow material. That is defined as rock and/or soil, sand, silt, clay, gravel, and the like, in a phased approach through 2022 in conjunction with the interchange project. Now, Rock Road is claiming that under the Wisconsin statutes 85.193, the city has no regulatory authority because the property is going to be used for a state transportation project. Now, again, the city of Beloit had no prior knowledge of this sale or the intended use. We are reviewing this claim of exemption, and it appears that indeed state does have authority that supersedes any local control that we might have for this particular use. Now, that said, I want you to know that as soon as this came to our attention, city staff had additional communication with WisDOT and DNR, and we were told that the maximum depth of material that would be allowed to be removed is 16 feet, and that both WisDOT and DNR would be inspecting the property regularly. Now, we expressed our serious concern and disappointment in the fact that the city had not been informed, and we were assured that any changes to their proposed plans we would be made aware of so that we could then in turn make sure that the public was also made aware. I also want to point out that the property is currently zoned as a development holding. It's primarily intended for future residential use. Our expectation is that the property will be available for future residential development upon the completion of the interchange project. That is a summary of the information and the facts that we have at hand right now. If we receive additional information, we will provide that via social media and other sources to help keep the residents, particularly living in this immediate area, informed. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager Luther.
There are no reports from boards or city officers, so the next item is adjournment.
Okay, I was going to say, is there a motion to adjourn? It was first by Counselor Levy, seconded by Counselor Jacobson. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are now adjourned.